Welcome to the Mussar Hatorah podcast, where we explore the profound, ethical, and spiritual lessons from each week's parsha. In this episode, we're diving into a beautiful insight from Parshas Tetzaveh that teaches us about the nature of kindness, reciprocity, and human dignity. At the beginning of Parshas Tetzaveh, in Shemos Chaf Zayin, Pasuk Chaf and Chaf Aleph, we encounter the mitzvah of lighting the Menorah in the Mishkan every evening, which eventually leads to lighting it in the Beis HaMikdash as well when that time happens. But this raises a fundamental question. Why would Hashem, who created light itself, need us to illuminate the darkness for him? As we see in Tehillim, it says, even the darkness is not dark for you. So why would this mitzvah be needed to be done? The Midrash in Shemos Rabbah tells us a powerful parable. A blind man was walking with a friend. The friend turned to the blind man and said, "Hold on to me, and I'll lead you to where we need to go." Once they entered the house, the friend asked the blind man to light a torch. The blind man asks, "Why do you need me to light a torch? You can see perfectly well." The friend explained, "I asked you to light this torch so you wouldn't feel indebted to me for leading you home." Rav Shemos Wolbe, Zecher Levracha, in Alei Shor, the second volume, explains that the friend symbolizes Hashem, while the blind man represents Bnei Yisrael, who groped in darkness after committing the chet, the sin of the Egel HaZahav. Despite this avera, Hashem continued to lead Bnei Yisrael through the desert with a pillar of fire, as we see in Shemos Perek Yud Gimel Pasuk Chaf Aleph. When Bnei Yisrael began building the Mishkan, Hashem commanded that the menorah be lit each night. This allowed Bnei Yisrael to reciprocate in some small measure the tremendous chesed Hashem had shown them. Rav Yerucham Levovitz, the Mishkiach of the Mir Yeshiva, draws a practical lesson from this Midrash in Das Torah. He teaches that after helping someone, we should ask them for a small favor in return. Nobody likes feeling indebted to others. By asking for a small favor, we prevent the beneficiary from feeling burdened by obligation. This insight aligns with a teaching in Bava Metzia, Daf Lamed Beis, Amid Beis, about preserving human dignity even when performing acts of chesed. Additionally, the Chofetz Chaim in Ahavas Chesed elaborates that the highest form of tzedakah is enabling the recipient to become self-sufficient. When we accept a small payment or favor in return for our chesed, we're allowing the recipient to express their hakaras hatov and freeing them from feeling indebted. As Rav Eliyahu Dessler writes in Michtav Me'Eliyahu, Volume 1, the ability to give is what makes us most similar to Hashem, and by allowing others to give back, we help them fulfill this spiritual potential. The Maharal Meprag in Nesiva Solam, Nesiv Gemilas Chasadim, explains that true chesed is not just about the assistance provided, but about preserving the recipient's dignity. This connects to the concept of Na'aseh Doresh v'Na'aseh Mekayem from Chagiga Daf Yudal Amid Beis. There is special value in being both a giver and a receiver in the cycle of spiritual growth. The next time we help someone, let's remember this teaching. Perhaps we can ask for a small favor in return, not because we need it, but because it allows the other person to maintain their dignity. In doing so, we follow Hashem's example of perfect chesed, as illustrated by the mitzvah of the Menorah. Thank you for joining us on the Mussar Hatorah podcast. Until next time, have a good Shabbos.